talking about the move of putting Skyy Moore to the reserve spot and bringing on elevating Justyn Ross. And JD, I'm going to put on my Johnny Mathis for a second and do "It's beginning to look a lot like Rossmas."
Oh,
I don't know if you can tell the background there. I got to begin to look a lot like Rossmas, little graphic back
there.
there.
Oh, I see it. I see it back there. I got you. Oh.
But JD, what are your thoughts on the whole move of putting Skyy Moore in this reserve spot? I mean, apparently he had knee swelling. I don't know. I mean, he played yesterday, but he's a reserve guy. And Justyn Ross is going to be elevated to the active 53 man. What does this tell you?
What does it tell me?
What does it tell you?
Tell me he's hurt. It's about all I can tell. So if he's on the reserve spot, hold on, let me get my mic here. Maybe you can hear me. Now, if he was on the reserve, in the reserve, that's probably the reason is, he's probably hurt. And so if he's not being utilized and they feel like you might want to create another spot for a guy and bring in Justyn Ross in, then that'd be the way to do it. So my thing is, when a guy's going out, I'm not celebrating him going out at all. I mean, if he's hurt, he's hurt, right? If he's on IR, there's a reason because of it. But here's the thing. We still need to get something out of the guys that's going to be there. So that's the bottom line. I always said this too. I said, Skyy Moore is going to be a project. He's going to be a guy that you're going to take some time to develop, just kind of getting the speed of the game, finding exactly what he can do and what he can do well. And so I haven't changed my position on that whatsoever. I think he's a talented guy. I think the way we utilize him wouldn't necessarily fits his skill set. But him being on IR, man, essentially, it's kind of what it is, right? So, that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
So earlier Andy Reid had a little media gathering today, and he talked about they asked him about what Justyn Ross is going to come on board, and he said, I have to talk to Brett Veach about that on how that's going to happen. So, and then we also, in the same press conference, he's talking about getting more snaps for Richie James. I mean, it seems like they're just trying to, and you're also seeing less and less reps for Skyy Moore going into today, or going into yesterday. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, yes, he could be injured. Yeah, that could be true, but I mean, may also just try to open up room for another guy to see what somebody else has,
So you think it's some nefarious thing they're trying to hide, that he's not actually hurt, or what are you saying? I'm trying to understand where you're going with it.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I think. I think it's that they don't want to say we're moving to a reserve role because they could kill any future value he may have for himself and any trade value in the future for him also. So the two things there. And then also you're making room for Justyn Ross while also keeping Richie James there because who they want to see a little bit more. And I feel like they've already seen what they've seen from Skyy Moore, and he hasn't really brought what they thought he was going to bring as being a second-round pick. So maybe that's where I'm going with it, and I think a lot of people out there think the same as well. Just try to see what else we have in that wide receiver room to kind of produce some more.
It could be. I don't know. The thing is, we're not really getting, and they're not really going to show their hand about what it is that they're actually doing. If that's the case, why don't they just go ahead and just do that? But you can make a case for that for sure. My thing is, I think Richie James is still needed to play anyway, regardless of that. And so him being on IR or not, it just takes him out of the equation. But I'm still looking at when we lean on, right? Rashid Rice. If we're sitting there saying Justin Watson, Kadarius Toney, Richie James, and MVS. To me, that's the pecking order. When you filter guys in, I think you need to get something out of Richie James, and I still think that you still could get some things out of Kadarius Toney. I think part of the problem why we haven't been developing, or he hasn't developed as much, is because he hadn't been in. You haven't utilized Kadarius Toney like you should. So that could be a lot of it. He's probably trying to catch up to speed where he feels like he needs to be in this season, right? Yeah. He wants to contribute. And so I think with him contributing like he is, and some of the problems, this is what ends up happening, right? He's trying to do too much. He's trying to press. He's trying to make plays. And sometimes when you try to make plays, then instead mistakes happen. So I think it's really what the case is as far as where this is with everything. But you know, who knows? Who knows, man? Look, they're not, like I said, they're not going to show their hand. So
No,
right? We can speculate all we want to, you know, about what their intentions are. We won't know that until, you know, the season's over, until we just know the parts, you know, the moves that they do make. We just know those are the moves that they made, right?
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree. I'm just excited to see, and not that I'm excited because if he does have a knee injury, if what they're saying it is, obviously I hope he recovers and does well. But I'm excited to see we actually finally get to see what we have in Justyn Ross, and we also get to see what we have in Richie James. More room for other guys to try to show something, maybe get some more reps, and so they can show off. But like we mentioned.
So no, I was just going to address. So like I see right here, Vegas Chiefs Kingdom. I think Richie James deserves more snaps than Ross. I agree. I don't understand why Ross is so overhyped. I understand he has some great practices, but fans and Chiefs media treat him as if he's a star, or he will be a star. So,
I mean, his flashy highlights all throughout last year and this preseason. I mean, that's where the hype comes from. And also, when you talk about before his injury that he had at Clemson, that guy's a first-round pick. So, I mean, yeah, there is reasons and logic behind the hype that he has. Obviously, that was put aside a little bit for the legal troubles he got into, but, you know, now he's back and ready to go. So, hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.